Hi, this is Mike of 71 Squared, and this is a brief update, I think it's update number 2, on what I'm doing getting ready for tutorial 10. It's been pretty hectic at the moment, so I've not been able to do as much work as I'd like, but I've been cracking on trying to get the code together for the next tutorial. To be honest, it's getting to a size now where I think I'm probably not going to be doing just a single tutorial 10. I'll be breaking it up into a few of them, just to sort of allow people to start to get some of the updates without waiting for a massive update. I think that's going to be the easiest thing. I've also got a bunch of changes that I've made to the structure, as I said. I'm not probably going to be able to go through every single tiny little change from the previous tutorials to what I've got now. So I think what I'll do is introduce the entire project as it stands now, talk through some of the bits and pieces that I can around things that I have changed, some of the new things that are in there, and then let people literally just take it apart and use it as they will. A lot of what is in there is exactly the same or very, very similar to what we've covered already in the previous tutorials. So I don't think there'll be too much of a problem or too many differences for people to get their head around. But I will talk around the new things, like how am I managing scenes, so going from one scene to another. Scenes being things like main menus, the actual game itself. I'll cover things like the accelerometer controls, touch controls. I'm moving the tile map around, so I'll look a bit at the tile map moving. I've also got things like a resource manager that I'll run through as well. So I'll go through as much as I possibly can, and then we'll sort of see where it goes from there and see where the questions arise. So I wanted to just give you a quick view of where the code stands at the moment and what I'm playing with. So I'll open up my project, and I think the easiest thing to do is just to quickly run through a couple of things. You'll see on the left hand side that I've started to organise things differently from what you will have seen in previous tutorials. So I've got these game scenes, and you can see in here I've got things like the main game scene, the menu scene, and an abstract, which is sort of just a high level class that I inherit within all of these. I've also got things like entities. So this is where I've got my actors. So I've got the player actor is in here, and the animation for him. I've got things like an alien tail wagger, which will be going because my game is switch tack. It's not going to be a space game anymore. It's actually going to be a haunted castle type game. That's probably about all I can tell you at the moment. But you'll get some of the idea of how it's going to look from what I'm about to show you. You'll also see I've got things like my singleton managers. So I've got my sound manager, my resource manager, which is a simple caching mechanism for textures. My director, which is sort of the overall manager. It handles moving from one scene to another and sharing important information around the game state. So director is my new name for what was game state. So there's a bunch of bits and pieces in here which I'll go through in the real tutorial. What I'll do though is I'll actually just let me just get rid of this breakpoint here. I don't need that. Okay, in there, delete that. So what I'll do is I'll just run this up on the simulator, and you can have a look and see where I am. Now, one of the great things that I found was the ability to feed accelerometer data from the real device into the simulator. So now I can actually, because I'm controlling my player using the accelerometer, I can actually feed that accelerometer data from my device. So I've got my iPod Touch here running 3.0, and this is going to be feeding accelerometer data into the actual game itself. So you may have noticed that the game faded up and faded into here, and I've got this thing called scenes. So if I hit settings, it should fade out, and then we'll get the next scene fade in. Okay, it's a pretty boring scene, it just says settings. There's no way to get back yet. I'm still working on that. So what I will do is just come out of here, and I'll just run it again, and you should see that the main menu will fade in as it does. So I'll hit new game, and that'll fade out the main menu, and it will fade in the new game. There we go. So here's the game. There's my little guy in the middle of the screen and a tile map, and as I move the my iPhone around, or sorry, my iPod Touch, you'll see that he moves. He's got animation, so he can do whatever he does. Or you can see there's the aliens whizzing around. So it's a bit of a weird mix at the moment of a haunted house with aliens. But anyway, that'll get fixed later. So you can see that he does move around like so. And if I go and walk into a wall, he'll just keep walking, but he can't go through the wall. So that's my collision detection. So using the map data, I'm able to tell where he is, and he just collides with things and can't walk through walls and stuff like that. Okay. I've also got this table in the middle of the floor here, which if I walk into the table like that, you'll see that he can't actually walk through the table. I can walk around the table. If I walk down, you see he won't walk through the table, he gets stopped. So again, that's just in my map data, I've been able to identify where these tables are and that they are blocking, and therefore the user can't move through them, the player can't move through them. So you can see I can move around, and I've got a number of rooms here, and I can navigate around the rooms. Oh, there's a table in the way there. Okay, oh, that's a dead end, so I'll go back down this way. So you can see that what I've done and the way that I'm orienting this is I'm actually going and playing around with the map and keeping the player in the middle of the screen. So the player stays in the centre and the map scrolls around him, which was a bit fiddly to start off with, I must admit. It took me a while to get my head around that. But it's working really well now. I'm actually really pleased with it. I've had to tune the accelerometer so that you can actually have the phone at a nice viewing angle while you're moving it around still and getting the character to move. But that works quite well. But there we go, that was really it. It's just to show you that we've got a character, he's animated, he moves around, he facing that way, facing up, facing down. He can't walk through walls, he can't walk through tables or anything else that I define as being blocked. So from that point of view, really pleased. It's really coming together now. So this is all code that'll be in tutorial 10, or at least in the series of tutorial 10s. Oh, there's my aliens again. And you'll see that things are relative to the map. So the aliens are there. If I run away from the aliens, oh, iPod Touch gone to sleep. Okay, if I go over here, here you go, there they are. So they're there, but if I run away from them, they disappear. So they're not relative to me, they're relative to the map. So wherever you are on the map, that's where you'll see them. So there they go, running around. If I go over this way, I'll eventually meet them again coming back the other way. There they are. So again, that's very simple. That was just by using a GL translate, which again will be in the code. You'll be able to see how that's achieved. But it means that I'll be able to have monsters and whatever else I want located in the map, wherever I need them to be, and they will stay in the map. So as I move towards them and move away from them, they will stay there, or they may chase me, etc. So that was it. Just wanted to show you that things are making progress. It is taking me a bit longer than I anticipated because I'm a bit hectic with the day job at the moment, but there is a tutorial 10 on the way. This is the code that I'm going to be running through, so you've got an idea of how to use things like tile maps, see how I'm doing the collision detection. You see here, can't move through the walls. And hopefully that'll be really useful, and we'll start actually getting into the real game mechanics right now, rather than just the framework that sits around it. As well as showing you how to do the accelerometer data into the simulator, which has made testing so much better. So there we go. So keep watching, and I shall hopefully have tutorial 10 out as soon as possible. But if you've got questions, please post them, and I'll give you another update as soon as I can. So see you then.